Hi, this is my tutorial on how to make Pokeball earrings out of shrinking plastic. So the things that you're going to need are obviously some shrinking plastic, a few paints, red, white and black. You're also going to need earring backs. You can buy these in bags of about 20 for about £1. You need the backs and the holders that go in at the back. You'll need 2 of each of those, and you're also going to need some strong super glue or some way of attaching it. Right, tools that you're going to need a pencil and some paintbrushes, and you're also going to need a coin. I'm using a £2 coin because I think that's going to be the right size once it gets shrunk down. Thing is, you need to know that your shrinking plastic, whatever size you cut it, it's going to go to about 1/3 of the actual size. So try about with different coins and measure up 1/3 of it and see whether that fits onto the back of the earring and if it's a nice size for you. So with that, let's move on to the first step. Alright, for the first step, you're going to want to get your shrinking plastic, and it'll have 2 sides. There'll be a rough side and then there'll be a smooth side. You're going to want to draw on the rough side and paint on the rough side. So you take your coin and then you're just going to draw around it twice. Alright, so that's it drawn on. Now you've got 2 options at this point. You can cut out these circles and paint it on then, or you can paint it on now and cut them out later. It depends on what you find easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it on like this and then cut them out. Alright, so this is how I've decided to make them. I've done it so it looks like they're rotated slightly. You can also do it straight on if you'd like. Or you could do any pattern you'd like, any type of Pokeball, but I'm going to go with the standard red and white and black. Alright, so with rough side up, remember, I'm going to do the black first. Alright. Alright, so you can see there that that's the black on. But you can use, pens or Sharpies, anything to get the design on there. But I find that paint works rather well, So I'm going to let that dry. You can see it's a little bit like that. I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to do the other 2 colours. What you can do if you would like is do a border of black as well, but I'm not going to do that, I don't think. So I'll leave that to dry. Alright, now the black's dried, time for the red and the white. So I'm doing red as the top part. Alright, so that's one of them done, and you can see I've gone a little bit out of the lines. I'm not too bothered about this because when I flip it round, I've got a clear outline of the circle which I can just cut around. So you don't worry about being messy when you do this. Just try and keep it away from your black, but then again you can always just go over it again. So finish the rest of it and I'll show you what it looks like after. That's that. Now you're probably going to need to do a couple of layers of this, depending on how pigmented your paint is. Now, this is quite well, but I'm going to do 2 layers anyway. So for the white. Alright, so got a little bit out of the lines, but I can cut it away anyway. And with the black, I can just re-go over it. So I'm going to let that dry and put a couple more coats in it, and then I'll come back to it. Alright, I almost forgot then, but you're going to want to do the inside of the black. You're going to want to paint that white. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to leave that to dry completely, tidy it up with the black, and then move on to cutting it out. Okay, so there we go. They've dried up and they're ready to be cut out now. You can still see on the back side that, you know, I know exactly where to cut, even though, you know, it's not very, well, round. So I'm going to use scissors. I'm just going to cut around it roughly first. Alright, so I'm just going to cut around where this pencil mark is, and then that should give me my nice shape and it should be ready to go in the oven. So there we go, and that's a Pokeball. But that's what it's going to look like, but it's going to be a bit smaller. Alright, that's one. Alright, there we go. That's both earrings ready to go. Okay, so now it's your last chance to do any touch-ups with the paint that you want to do, because it's time to put them in the oven. Okay, so you're going to want to preheat your oven to about 150 degrees, and you want to put your little earrings on a bit of greaseproof paper and then put it in there. It's only going to take a few seconds before you start to see it curling out of shape. It's going to like curl up, but then it's going to flatten out again afterwards. Now in the video you'll see the white paint is sort of bubbling out of shape. It doesn't normally do this, and we'll sort it out later on in the video. but just be aware that sometimes it doesn't go exactly to plan. Okay, so once it's risen up and flattened out again, you're going to want to take it out of the oven and put a bit of greaseproof paper on top of them and flatten it with something else. You just want to put a bit of pressure on until it cools down. It's just so that if there's anything left curled on it, it'll just get rid of it. Make it look a bit nicer. Okay, so this is my first attempt, and well, you can probably see it's not the best. The white paint has sort of crumpled in on itself, but apart from that, it works out quite well. It's small enough to go on the back and, you know, about the right size. You might want it a little bit smaller. Alright, so I'll see if I can tidy this up. If not, I'll make another set. Right, okay, so I've repainted them and I think I've pulled it back and they look okay. Alright, what I think went wrong is when I was doing the white paint, I mixed in a little bit of water to make it go on a bit easier. Don't do that. Apart from that, everything else went on okay. The black and the red stayed pretty nice. That might have been the problem. I'm not too sure. But don't do that, don't mix in water. Alright, so I think these look alright. Might want to do it a little bit smaller. Maybe use a 10p coin. Because they're a decent size. Yeah, it fits on back, but it might be a little bit big on your ears. So next step, flip these round. So you get your two earring backs, and you're going to put glue on these and just affix them down into place. Alright, so you take your strong super glue. I'm using E6000. This is strong glue, so you don't need much. Okay, so you've got your little bit and you just want to press it down. Try and get it in the middle if you can. And a little bit to the top. So it's in the middle, but it's further up, so hopefully it'll hang this way and it'll stay that way. Okay, and then you're going to want to do that on your other side as well. Bring your red, and that's it. You can just leave them to dry completely, and then that'll be it done. Mostly you just need to put your back on. You've got your other pieces, but that's it essentially. So I'll come back and show you once it's dried after I've tidied it up. Alright, so there we go. They've pretty much dried now. For the backs, if you buy these, they'll come with the slidey thing. So you can just attach that on there. And then done. And there you have it. That is buckeball earrings out of shrinking plastic. Didn't exactly go to plan at first, but it turned out pretty nice. Alright, thanks for watching the tutorial. I hope some people try and make their own versions of pokeball earrings, so best of luck with that. If you do, I'd love to hear how it goes and maybe see how they look. Leave a comment, see if you like this tutorial, if you'd like to see more like this, and thanks for watching. Bye.